I felt like my childhood, I had a really good childhood from what I remember. I always did well in school and tried my best. And kind of right after school, I kind of got in the wrong crowd, and that really took me under. I was the partier and the drugs, and I always chose the easy way out of stuff. I was very codependent on people. I never had like confidence in myself. I was living with my parents, and I had tried a few years on my own to get out, and quickly in 4 months I saw that I failed and I couldn't afford the rent, and I'd find myself back at my parents' house. And I tried very hard to just create a life for me and my daughter after she was born, and it just never worked. It just kept bringing me and my depression lower and lower, and until I hit a pretty all-time low where I went into the hospital with a panic attack. And after that I saw a counselor, and she was the one who really pushed me to Bridge of Hope. I just kind of was like, that is exactly what I need. I need a new support system. I need people to back me, and just a safe place to take advice and just rebuild my life from the mess I did create.
I think that we all go through times in life where we need support. And when I think about these single moms that are coming out of a life situation that they want to change, they really do need to have people that are going to be able to walk through this, with them.
Getting it done, Abby.
I actually had a very large group of neighboring volunteers, so the diversity between all of them, it was pretty neat to see.
We had women that had young children, like Abby has Nova, so she could really relate to those women. But then we had people like myself who were the nanas. Some were just true prayer warriors. And, Abby would say, I'm just thankful for the prayer. I still think Mommy would get the award.
Yes. Let me help you now.
I really think with my daughter seeing a whole new support system in me, that she gained confidence in herself. She's definitely more lively. She's got a personality. The experience for me was tough. It was a lot of hard work, but a lot of rewarding times also. The confidence that I built to go and attack certain things that I never would have. It's amazing how far I've come. I'm shocked. I'm totally shocked. I never thought that I would be able to afford an apartment for this past year all by myself. I feel going into my future independent, actually. I feel like I can make the decision confidently now, but I have some good standing women and families behind me that can give me that advice and then let me make the decision. I can call on them and they're just gonna be there.
Good morning. Thank you for creating the space for me to be here today. It's already been mentioned that you guys have been working with us with the parsonage next door. So I want to first extend our gratitude as an organization to be able to partner with another like-minded faith organization to walk alongside a family. So my name is Caleb Simmers. I'm with Bridge of Hope. I'm the church engagement and housing director for our Lancaster location. We began in 1988 on the border of Chester and Lancaster County, and we've since then expanded to 12 states and about 23 locations. We're always in competition with our Denver, Colorado side, so we're either first or second. I'll find out in October if we're the largest this year or not. But we work with families facing homelessness here in the county. And before I get into too deep into stats, I want us to just keep Abby and Nova in front of us. I want to explain a little bit how we work and why it's important that we use the parsonage, but these stats, we can get lost in numbers, and if we don't keep people behind the numbers, then it just becomes data. But each one of these numbers represents a family and a human, and so we want to keep their dignity before us. So, as we have watched the news and read the papers, we're in a little bit of a housing crisis, and that has caused our numbers to just really skyrocket. But I think sometimes we think about homelessness, we think about the 15 or so folks that live below Binns Park, and that's a city issue, and it's out of sight, out of mind. But it's not an accurate view of what homelessness looks like. In our county, 37% of those experiencing homelessness have children within the family makeup. And just here locally in the 2 school districts that border this congregation, we would have 62 kids in the LS school district and 127 students in Penn Manor school district that are facing homelessness. So it's not just those individuals, although those individuals deserve our love, dignity, and worth. It's just a bigger picture and a more expansive issue that we're facing right now. A lot of that just has to do with supply and demand. If you took the average county, or if you took counties with our population and looked across the nation with other counties our population size, we're 18,000 units short of being average. So not to solve the problem, but just to become average amongst our peers in population. And because of that, we've just seen our rent rates skyrocket. 2021, it would have been no problem for us to find a 2-bedroom apartment under $1,000. We're sitting at about $1,300 now. I don't know about your salaries, pensions, or retirement plans. Mine did not go up 36% over the last 2.5 years, but rents have. And so our families that were already on the margins have been pushed even further out. So what that looks like is if you're looking to rent a 2-bedroom apartment and you go onto a rent aggregate, or rent.com, Zillow, wherever it is, and you apply for an apartment, if you don't make 3 times monthly rent, the algorithm kicks your application. A human never sees it. And so what that looks like is, you, as a single income earner, if you're a single parent with children, you need to make $24 an hour, $24.73 actually, for the algorithm to even allow your application to go to the property manager. And so because of that, since 2021, we averaged about 12 applications a month. This year we're averaging around 60, and then last month we've gotten 70 applications just here in our Lancaster office. And we're just seeing those numbers push us to our limits. And so the way Bridge of Hope addresses that is a 3-way partnership. We form a partnership between a family facing homelessness, a professional case manager from Bridge of Hope, and then 6 to 10 volunteers from a local faith community. The case manager will handle the budget, the financial coaching, the rental assistance that Bridge of Hope provides. They also are doing home visits. You learn a lot of gaps that a family may have in their home than you do clinically in an office, so home visits are really important to us. And then they also are the liaison between the landlord to help the family establish those relationships and learn what good practices look like becoming a healthy renter. The 6 to 8, or 6 to 10, 8's our average, 6 to 10 volunteers from a local faith community, we want that to be a neighboring type of relationship. You're not the case manager, you're a neighbor, you're a friend. What does it look like to help somebody go from feeling like a project to feeling like a participant within the community? New relationships, new opportunities, new social capital that's extended to them. So our program is on average 12 to 16 months before a family would graduate along those 2 partners, giving them the support that they need to take steps forward. Some action steps that if you're interested in how do I help the next Abbey, the next Nova find safe and sustainable housing, we could form a group of 6 to 10 people and and connect with a family right here in our school district to help them take steps forward. There's giving. We're completely donor funded, and it on average takes us about $16,000 to stabilize a family over that 1.5-year process. We present at Kiwanis clubs, Lions clubs. You may be a part of those. Anytime we can get our face in front of people who like to do charitable work, please think of us and include us in those thoughts. You could use your social capital. You guys kind of already are doing that using the parsonage to help with a family. But as a congregation that has now taken that step, you now have a little bit of leverage with other faith communities. You may know other people that you're connected with that have a parsonage. They're friends of yours who have a church. You can speak into that, and you can advocate for how do we as people of faith begin to use our assets in a way that loves our neighbor and find ways that impact a family in meaningful ways. Social capital, it's one of those things that either I don't know exist or I have it and I take it for granted. I'll give you a couple quick examples and then I will get out of your way. Me and my wife, we had a child within the last year. It was a journey for us to have children. But in our life, the pediatric nurse who was in the room when I was born, she was also my first grade Sunday school teacher. Her 2 sons were in my wedding. I was in their weddings. And she was a absolute voice for our family. When my wife was nervous or when things didn't go well, there was somebody in our corner that she could call, that she could text, or that would come and sit down and work through processing some of the things that were going on. And that's invaluable. You can't put a price tag on that. But it saved us a lot of money. Just having someone in our corner with those professional skills. Do you know how you guys do taxes? You put everything in a vanilla envelope and you go to Bob Biddle's house and you drop them off and you leave. At least that's how I do taxes, because that's my dad's high school friend who's a CPA. And my whole life, that's how you do taxes. He saved us countless dollars over my life, and he won't ever let me buy him dinner just to say thank you. We bought a house 4 weeks before our first child was born. That's great advice. If you're going to buy a house and have a child, do it at the same time. Stress-free. It's perfect. The insurance company was trying to push us on the age of our roof. It was 25 years old, really wanted us to get a replacement. My buddy, who's a roofer, ran up on the roof and said, you have 5 to 8 years left on this roof. Buy the house, have your child, take a breath. It's going to be fine. If I would have called a roofing company, what would they have told me? Oh, no, you got to replace it right now, and we're the ones to do it. And that would have stretched us even more. So those 3 instances are ways that social capital in my life, connections and relationships that I have stepped in impactful ways and have saved us countless dollars. Would they do that for a family in our program? Probably if I asked them. And in Lancaster County, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And our families often don't know the right people. And so that's why relationships and that's why new community formation is so impactful for our families. When they get connected with other people, that circle expands for them. And they may not even know that we have these connections, that they're even possible to have. And so this call to action today, would you be interested in neighboring? Would you be interested in giving? Utilizing that social capital that's so valuable that you possess? And would you pray for us? And we believe a yes to any of these is a yes to ending family homelessness. Thank you for your time.